And we take a look at federal politics with John McDonald from the Flow News 24 desk. It's a web page that you can go to get the facts on what is happening. And this is a really important story that John's put together. And it's workers and unions and politicians are concerned that Liberty Steel, that's the company that owns Whyalla Steelworks, may be in some financial difficulty. This has far-reaching effects for all Flow broadcast regions in New South Wales, Victoria and South Australia, because steel that's supplied from Whyalla is used across railway tracks and in construction of ports and bridges across the nation. The AFR reports that last Monday it reneged on a payment to its largest funder, Greensill Capital. Greensill is reportedly about to go into administration and is under investigation by UK and German financial authorities. Liberty Steel's parent company, writes John, is known loosely as the CFG Alliance, reportedly have substantial borrowings from Greensill and can expect to be issued with letters of demand from the administrators. And suppliers to the Whyalla Steelworks have reportedly tightened their payment terms and in some cases will only take cash for delivery to the works. Closure of the steelworks would be a devastating blow for the Whyalla community. Sanjeev Gupta, who is the boss and controlling owner of CFG and Liberty Steel, is seen as the saviour of the community. He took a moribund steelworks into his multinational steel making conglomerate, which employs about 35,000 people worldwide, and in the process he revived the regional economy at the top of the Spencer Gulf of South Australia. Rex Patrick, who counts Whyalla among his constituencies, said he was worried about the prospects for some of the local suppliers. My concern here is that obviously Whyalla is highly dependent on CFG. There are a lot of people working there, and without it, the town would essentially collapse. The irony is that the crisis at CFG comes amid a booming metals market, driven by a rebound in Chinese demand and optimism that the rollout of vacancies will allow the global economy to recover. Another irony is that the Greensill Capital financing model resembles the schemes established by the big Wall Street banks and which caused the global financial crisis. Greensill took over the debts of substantial international companies such as Telstra, CIMIC, CFG and the British National Health Service and paid their suppliers out early after deducting a small commission. It was negotiating arrangements with its big clients which improved their cash flow position. But at its peak, Greensill had 140 billion worth of securities out in the market and the assets that would be held against it. And John's article goes further into the technical side of that and the banking structures and so forth. You can read that at flownews24.com.au, but he asks this question. The people of Whyalla are now on tenterhooks. Will Liberty Steel be able to ride out the crisis? Will someone else buy the Whyalla Steelworks? Will a government bail in or bail out become a situation? And Christopher Pyne is no longer around to push that cause. And will South Australian Labor, or even one backed by their federal colleagues in Anthony Albanese's Labor, will they come together with Mr Malinauskas and offer some sort of election promise? It all begins to become a very real problem for Mr Morrison's government at a federal level and also for the state Liberal Party in South Australia. They have to reckon with a huge problem, which, if you remember, Mr Gupta was seen as a financial saviour by the former Labor Premier Jay Weatherill, and maybe that was a slight exaggeration at the time. It's going to be a very intriguing thing to see this unfold, and as Ricky Lambert, who writes for us here at Flow News 24 and also produces content here on our program, he said that John's spot on with his analysis about China's hunger for steel and the fact that it's going to become something that we need more of, not less. So can we hang on long enough for the city of Whyalla, one of the great visions of Tom Playford back 70 years ago? Is that going to be something that would be lost in this COVID restructure that is currently happening? And at a local level, we desperately need to maintain steelworks like this in Whyalla for the future of our nation. We have the iron, we mine it, we should make it into steel, and we then should sell it as a commodity made already, rather than the circumstances we see now where we're really in a spot of bother at Whyalla.